Okay then. In the last class, what we have seen how to calculate the transfer function of a Butterworth low pass filter, that is analog filter, and from there how to calculate the order of the filter and the cutoff frequency of the filter. So for that case, transfer function equation was omega c whole to the power n continued product of k equal to 1 to n by 2 a square plus bk omega c s plus omega c square, that is for n equal to even, and for n equal to odd we have got omega c whole to the power n. One real part was there defined as s plus omega c, and other imaginary part n minus 1 by 2 times continued product for k equal to 1 to n minus 1 by 2, and value was a square plus bk omega c s plus omega c square, that was for n equal to odd, where bk was 2 sine 2k minus 1 pi by 2 capital N, that was your bk. So this was the equation to calculate the transfer function of a Butterworth analog Butterworth low pass filter, and order of the filter was n equal to half, or simply greater than equal to half log base 10 1 by delta s 1 by delta s square minus 1 by log of base 10 omega s by omega c, and also half of log base 10 delta s to the power minus 2 minus 1 by delta p to the power minus 2 minus 1 by log of omega s by omega p. So the first equation n equal to n greater than equal to, that means when omega p is equal to omega c, if the cutoff frequency is given and the stop band frequency is given, then we will use the first equation to calculate the order of the filter. If the cutoff frequency, if the stop band frequency and pass band frequency is given, then we will use the second case. So that was the equation to calculate the order of the Butterworth filter, and from here to calculate the cutoff frequency, equation was omega c equal to omega p by 1 by delta p square minus 1 whole to the power 1 by 2n. So these are the four equations. In the last class we have checked these four equations are used to calculate the filter order. Filter order. Okay, so I think this how to calculate this four equation is clear to all of you. Just you need to know how to calculate. Whenever you will do some practical operation, you don't need to recapture how to calculate. Simply you have to keep in mind the equations. If you can recapture or simply keep in mind the equation, you can easily calculate or easily write down the order of the filter for any references. So depending on that, we have checked one problem, and in today's class you will see how to convert the analog filter into the digital filter, because all of you know that all of you know that the system that we use is a digital processor. So we don't use the analog processor. Maximum system we use are the digital processor. So you have to design the filter or the analog filter with the digital filter replacement. Okay, so you have the analog filter transfer function. You need to represent that analog filter transfer function with the equivalent digital filter transfer function. So for that case, we have several methods, we have several technique. One of that technique, one of the several techniques are, or simply one of the several technique is the bilinear bilinear transformation. Bilinear transformation, the technique is used to convert the analog IIR filter into a digital IIR filter. That may be Butterworth, that may be another type of filter, but bilinear transformation is used all the analog filter into a digital domain. For that case, you are getting the analog filter transfer function in the format of S. Simply you need to represent S by that value. In the analog transfer function, you need to represent S by that value. If we represent that, all the analog filter represented in S domain will be converted into the Z domain. And all of you know that if you are able to convert any system in the Z domain, means you are getting the discretized value, and this you are getting discretized value means you are going towards the digital processor. Okay, so simply whatever the transfer function is given over the transfer function, simply replace the value of S by 2 by t z minus 1 by z plus 1, you will get z from HAS. Okay, z minus 1 by z plus 1. Just do that term, that process. Now, if we do that process, there are several criteria that you have to keep in mind. What are the criteria? Just check it. We are representing S by 2 by t z minus 1 by z plus 1 in the place of S. As a result, we are getting Z. Okay. Now, simply we know that z is a complex value and the value of z is defined as r e to the power j omega. That omega is for digital frequency. Keep in mind that omega is called the so that omega is digital frequency. That omega is called the analog frequency. So whenever we have designed the analog butterworth filter, keep in mind we have used that omega. Now we are considering Z transform. The Z transform defined by discrete value, so we will use the digital frequency. And Z equal to r e to the power j omega. So in the place s equal to 2 by t z minus 1 by z plus 1 will represent z value by r e to the power j omega. If we do that, what do we get? Simple calculation. That value. And now what we are doing, simply we are multiplying this value by another parameter, which parameter can be cancelled out with each other and will become 0. So the result will be same. Okay. So if we do that, what will happen? Means why we are doing that? Simply now, if we multiply that parameter to that and this parameter to this, the result what we will get is this into this, that is r square e to the power j omega e to the power minus j omega cancel out, so it will be r square, then r e to the power j omega into 1, that is r e to the power j omega, and r e to the power minus j omega into minus 1, so it will be plus r e to the power j omega first case minus. So I think up to that it is clear. Z equal to r e to the power j omega. Omega is the digital frequency and that omega is the analog frequency. I think it is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now what we are doing in bilinear transformation, we are going to put value of s by 2 by t z minus 1 by z plus 1. So here in the place of z we are replacing the value r e to the power j omega, and obviously the omega is the digital frequency. So if we do that, we are getting the first value this, and that value we are multiplying by another parameter, this one, r e to the power minus j omega plus 1 by r e to the power minus j omega plus 1. If we cancel out, this parameter will be 1. So the original result will not be affected. Now what we are doing, simply we are multiplying the denominators and the numerators, and if we do that, what we are getting, first r e to the power j omega is multiplied by r e to the power minus j omega, so e to the power minus j omega and e to the power j omega is cancelled out, remaining part is r square, r into r. Second part is r e to the power j omega is multiplied to 1, so plus r e to the power j omega. In that way, simply if we multiply, we are getting -1. And in the denominator side, we are getting r square plus r e to the power j omega plus r e to the power minus j omega plus 1. So from here, simply you can check that r square and that 1. R square minus 1. And the remaining part, if we make r common, that is e to the power j omega minus e to the power minus j omega. So it will be sine if we consider a value of 1 by 2j. So it will be simply multiplied to 2j and the remaining part will be sine omega. Similarly, in the denominator side, that is the real part, r square plus 1 plus, if we make r common from here, the remaining part is multiplied divided by 2, it will be cos omega. So r multiplied by 2 into divided by 2, as a result we are getting cos omega. Okay, so this is your result. Now in that result, if we divide it into two parts, that is one real part, another imaginary part. One real part, another imaginary part. So what we will get? S is a complex part. So S will have a real part defined by sigma and its imaginary part defined by omega. Keep in mind, S is analog, means it's continuous domain. So the omega for S we are representing is the analog omega. Keep in mind that, very important. And here Z we are representing in discrete form. So for Z, whatever the omega we are representing, that is your digital omega. So one equation we are getting, which is a combination of analog omega and digital omega. And what we are doing, we are simply representing that part as a real part and imaginary part. So real part will be this, will be your real part as a 2 by t r square minus 1 by r square plus 2r cos omega plus 1. That is your real part, and imaginary part will be the remaining part as a plus j 2r sin omega by r square plus 2r cos omega plus 1. Okay, so from this equation, if we compare the real part with real part and imaginary part with imaginary part, then sigma we will get equal to the real part and analog frequency omega will be equal to the imaginary part. So from here we can write sigma equal to 2 by t r square minus 1 r square plus 2r cos omega plus 1, that is sigma, and omega, that is the analog frequency, will be equal to 2r sine digital frequency by r square plus 2r cos omega plus 1. So these two expression we can get from the given characteristics. Okay, one is the real part, another is the imaginary part. So now whenever we have told you about the filtered expression, I have mentioned that the value of r must be equal to 1. Why? The reason is that if r equal to 1, then only the system you are getting stable. Otherwise, the system will be unstable. Okay. So, for that case, obviously the filter must be stable. So, we will consider r equal to 1. Okay. So, simply analog frequency omega will be 2 sine omega 1 plus 2 cos omega plus 1. So simply if 2 common, it will be simply sine omega by 1 plus cos omega. Now the formula of sine 2 theta, 2 sine theta cos theta, and 1 plus cos 2 theta is 1 plus cos 2 theta formula is 2 cos square theta. That is the trigonometry rule. So if we use these two formula here, sine omega will become 2 sine omega by 2 cos omega by 2. 1 plus cos omega will be 2 cos square omega by 2. 2 will be cancelled out. 2 will be cancelled out. 1 cos omega will be cancelled out. So sine omega by 2 and cos omega by 2. Keep in mind, just make it correction, there is a 2 by t. That 2 by t will remain here. Okay. So here cos omega and 1 cos omega will be cancelled out. 2 will be cancelled out. So remaining part will be 2 by t into sine omega by 2 into sine omega by 2 by cos omega by 2. That is the tan omega by 2. So result is analog frequency equal to 2 by t tan digital frequency by 2. That expression we are getting if we simply represent S equal to, S equal to 2 by t z minus 1 by z plus 1. Okay, so that is the relationship between the analog frequency and digital frequency. So obviously you can understand that from the analog frequency, if we can able to calculate the digital frequency, the representation will be with respect to the digital frequency. Okay. Now there is one matter. Simply if we use that expression and simply if we represent analog frequency to the digital frequency, it does not mean that your analog filter will be converted to digital filter. Why? Now that I am showing you. We have got omega equal to 2 by t tan omega by 2. Okay, if we simply try to understand the characteristics of that equation, that will be defined as omega t, analog frequency with respect to time, and that will be defined as digital frequency. Simply, if we try to generate that waveform for a range minus pi to plus pi, minus pi is the minimum range of the digital frequency and plus pi is the maximum range of digital frequency. Why we are considering minus pi to plus pi? Because whenever we are converting digital frequency, the digital processor is a finite response processor. Keep in mind, in a digital processor you cannot represent a sequence as an infinite loop, because if we represent a sequence as infinite loop, it is continuously run, it will continuously run. So what we are doing, we represent a infinite sequence in a finite range, and that process has been done in the place of discrete Fourier transform. We have seen in DFT the infinite sequence is represented in a finite range. So whenever we will represent the digital frequency, that digital frequency will be the finite range, that is minus pi to pi. Analog frequency should not be finite. Analog frequency will go to infinite. Okay. So if we try to understand that characteristics, we will see that we'll get a characteristics like that for small frequencies, and whenever we will increase the frequency, whenever we will increase the analog frequency, or from here if we consider that expression, if we simply increase that analog frequency, we will see a non-linearity in the digital frequency. Okay, in the both side we can see a non-linearity in the digital frequency. Means what? For a small range of that omega, when that omega small, tan inverse omega t by 2, that will be linear. Or simply, whenever that omega is small, this omega will also be small. So tan omega by 2 will be linear, because simply we know sine theta is equal to theta for theta is very less. If we consider theta is very less value, sine theta equal to, we can write theta, and cos theta we can write equal to 1. So tan theta we can write as theta. That is your school level formula, that for less value of theta, sine theta we can write equal to theta. So for less value it will be theta, so it will be simply linear. For less value, what will be that equation? For omega value less, we can write omega equal to 2 by t omega by 2, that is analog omega equal to digital omega by t. So that expression is linear. Okay, but whenever you are increasing the frequency, whenever you are increasing the theta value, then sin theta will not be equal to theta, for theta equal to high. Okay, in that case you will not get that linear characteristics, so characteristics will be non-linear. So after a certain range, that range is linear. After a certain range of frequencies, characteristics become non-linear. Okay, so that is the characteristics of the equation written as analog frequency equal to 2 by t tan digital frequency by 2. Okay, that non-linearity effect is called the wrapping effect. That effect is called the wrapping effect. Keep in mind. Okay, so that is one problem. Our aim is to define a filter which must be linear. Okay, but in that case, whatever we are getting is that the filter is not linear. The filter is a non-linear filter. So to avoid that wrapping effect or to avoid that non-linearity, what you have to do, you have to use some pre-wrapping process. What is that pre-wrapping process? Pre-wrapping process is like that. What we are doing? First, simply we have designed an analog filter, means simply we have got HAS by using the Butterworth approach or by using any other approach. As I have told you the Butterworth approach, consider using Butterworth approach, we have got the analog filter transfer function. Okay, so after that what we are doing, we are using here bilinear transformation method to convert the analog filter into digital. Okay, now due to wrapping effect, we have got non-linear digital filter. Okay, so first we have designed analog filter. We have used the bilinear transformation method to convert the analog filter into digital, and then we have seen that the filter has a wrapping effect. So digital filter, whatever you are getting is not linear. Now from here your pre-wrapping process will be started. What you will do, depending on that bilinear transformation method, you will get your frequency characteristics. That means you will get your omegas P and omega S, that is the pass band frequency and stop band frequency. That frequency you are getting from the expression omega equal to 2 by T tan omega by 2. From that expression, already whenever you are using BLT, that is the bilinear transformation, you are getting the omega P and omega S. Okay, now from that omega p and omega s, we have to regenerate the analog frequency. Keep in mind, first one analog frequency is given. Suppose one example I am showing you 5. Just consider omega equal to 5. Depending on that analog frequency, you have used the bilinear transformation. You have represented s equal to 2 by t, z minus 1 by z plus 1. Whatever the hz you have got, in that hz, that is your omega. And with respect to that omega, you have got some value of digital omega. Now, from that digital omega, you will get again the analog omega. So, from that digital omega, if you calculate the analog omega, that will not be the same. That will not be the same, keep in mind. That analog omega will be, suppose omega p, that is the passband frequency, 2 by t tan omega p by 2. Clear? This omega p will be after converting the bilinear transformation method. So the omega p that you are getting is the changed omega p, or the changed analog passband frequency. That is not the frequency mentioned. Similarly, omega s, that is the stop band frequency that you will get, that is also the changed stop band frequency. Okay, so now what you have, again you have the analog frequency omega p and omega s, which are passband and stop band. Depending on that passband and stop band frequency, you need to redesign. You need to redesign the analog filter. Keep in mind, you need to redesign the analog filter. Now, again, that redesigned analog filter will be converted to digital filter by using BLT method. Again, you will use the bilinear transformation method to reconvert that redesigned analog filter to digital filter. Okay, if we do that, then the characteristics of the filter will be the linear. So it is clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically what okay. So basically what we are doing, simply we have an analog filter. Over that analog filter we are using BLT and we are getting the nonlinear characteristics. So whatever we are doing, the digital filter using BLT, we have got from that digital filter, whatever the digital frequencies we are getting from that digital frequency, again we are recalculating the analog frequency, which is not equal to the previously mentioned analog frequency. So that analog frequency, using that analog frequency, we are redesigning the analog transfer function. So obviously that analog transfer function will be little bit different from the previous one, and over that analog transfer function, again we are using the BLT. If we do that, the characteristics of the digital filter will be linear. So that process is called the pre-wrapping process. Okay, so that we have to do if we use the bilinear transformation method. So I think it is clear to all of you. Now suppose one example is given like that. A simple example, I am not considering any complex. 1 by 1 by s plus 1. That is the analog filter transfer function. Obviously, the transfer function of analog filter. use bilinear transformation method to calculate or to determine the HZ. HZ means determine the digital transformation function or a digital transfer function. Okay, digital transfer function. So from analog transfer function, you have to calculate the digital transfer function, and you have to use the BLT. And also write the difference equation for the digital filter. Difference equation for the digital filter. Okay. So I think the question is clear. You have the analog transfer function. From that analog transfer function, you have to generate the digital transfer function by using the BLT method, and also you have to represent the difference equation for this digital transfer function. So process is very simple. You have to represent S by the equivalent Z function, that is HZ, that will be equal to 1 by 2 by T Z minus 1 by Z plus 1 plus 1. So that will be simple digital transfer function. And here, if T is not mentioned, always consider T equal to 1 second. T is called the sampling time. Keep in mind, sampling time. If sampling time is not mentioned, then consider by default the sampling time is 1 second. So it will be, if we represent T equal to 1, it will be 2. So simply if we solve it, you will get an expression like that: Z plus 1 by 3Z minus 1. That will be your HZ. Simply minimize that part, you will get that expression. Okay. So obviously that will be your digital transfer function. Okay. Now in that digital transfer function, you have to also calculate the difference equation. So from the transfer function, how to calculate the difference equation, I think all of you know. HZ, that is transfer function. So obviously that is YZ by XZ, that is Z plus 1 by 3Z minus 1. So 3, if we simply multiply with the values, that will be 1 plus Z inverse, 3 minus Z inverse. Okay, so if you simply multiply, will be 3YZ minus Z inverse YZ equal to XZ plus Z inverse XZ. So simply if we do the inverse Z transform, here, YZ will be YN 3 YN minus Z inverse YZ will be YN minus 1 equal to XN plus Z inverse XZ will be XN minus 1. Okay, so that will be your difference equation, or you can write as equal to 1 by 3 xn plus xn minus 1 plus yn minus 1. So that will be your difference equation for the given analog filter. Okay. The matter is that the simplest example we have taken here, but if the transfer function characteristics is complex or more complicated, then the calculation will also be more complicated. Okay, if we use the third order or fourth order transfer function, then calculation will also be more complicated. Keep in mind. Simple another problem. Here t is not given. If t is given, h is equal to suppose 3 by s plus 2 s plus 3 with t is 0.1 second. That is your hs. You have to calculate hz. So what you will do? Simply will represent s equal to 2 by 0.1 z minus 1 by z plus 1. So if you represent s equal to this and if you solve it, you will get your hz, and the value of hz here you will get the expression like that: z square plus 2z plus 1 by 168.67 z square plus minus 262.67 z plus 102. Okay, so process is very simple. Simply put the value of s, then calculate hz. Okay, up to that clear or not? Up to that, if you have any question, you can ask me.
না স্যার।
ঠিক আছে?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
Okay. Then there is another problem. Just write it down. Design a single pole low pass filter with a 3 dB bandwidth of 0.2 pi by using bilinear transformation method. Applied to an analog filter. Where simply hs is given as a omega c by s plus omega c, where omega c is the 3 dB bandwidth of the analog filter. Okay, that problem is given. Just write it down or make a screenshot. Just write it down or make a screenshot, okay? Then tell me.
Sir, done, sir.
Okay, okay. So, in that example, keep in mind, it is told that you have to design a single pole low pass filter. Means a digital low pass filter you have to design by using BLT, which has a single pole and which has a frequency omega c 0.2 pi at 3 dB, which has a frequency 0.2 pi at 3 dB. Means a digital filter frequency is the digital frequency, and that digital frequency is also the 3 dB frequency. Means that is the cutoff frequency 0.2 pi, that is given. That is the condition. Cutoff frequency must be 0.2 pi and single pole. That is the condition that you have to design from that expression. I think the question is clear. Then try to solve that question. So Hs is given omega c by s plus omega c. Okay, and digital omega c is given 0.2 pi. Then analog omega c will be 2 by t tan digital omega c by 2. If we represent 0.2 pi here, the value of analog omega c you will get 0.65 by t. Okay, so from the digital omega c you are getting analog omega c. Now from that analog omega c, again you are redesigning the characteristics equation or the simply analog transfer function 0.65 by t s plus 0.65 by t. Now you are representing that analog frequency into digital or simply analog transfer function into digital transfer function by bilinear transformation method, because it is mentioned that you have to use the bilinear transformation method. You have to design a digital transfer function or simply digital filter whose frequency must be 0.2 pi at 3 dB. So depending on the digital frequency you are getting analog frequency. Means check it here, the pre-wrapping process is happening. Try to understand it. Analog frequency is given. Okay, from that analog frequency simply whatever the omega c for that analog frequency, if we simply replace, you will get digital frequency. But here a digital frequency has been provided. So what we are doing, from that digital frequency again we are calculating the analog frequency. Okay, now that analog frequency is replaced to the previous analog transfer function, then again that analog transfer function is converted to the digital transfer function by simply representing s as 2 by t z minus 1 by z plus 1. Okay, so that is 0.65 by t. So that is pre-wrapping process. Pre-wrapping is happening. So if you make t common, equation will be 0.65 by 2 z minus 1 by z plus 1 plus 0.65. Okay. Now from that expression, if we calculate hz, hz will be 0.245 z plus 1 by z minus 0.509. So that will be your resultant digital frequency. Okay. See, two conditions has been provided. One condition is the filter or the digital filter must have a single pole. So you can check it that the digital filter has a single pole, and also cutoff frequency 3 dB cutoff frequency is omega by 3 dB cutoff frequency is 0.2 pi. So now what you have to do, you have to check the 3 dB cutoff frequency is 0.2 pi or not. For that case, what you will do, simply here you will represent z by e to the power j omega, as r equal to 1, so z equal to e to the power j omega. Simply if we represent z equal to e to the power j omega, you will get h e to the power j omega. All of you know that in the previous classes I have told you how to calculate the magnitude. So the same process, you have to calculate the magnitude and fetch 0.245. Z will be represented by e to the power j omega plus 1 and e to the power j omega minus 0.509. Here simply represent e to the power j omega equal to cos omega plus j sin omega, as I have told you in few previous classes. Okay, where represent the value omega as 0.2 pi. If we represent the value of omega 0.2 pi, you will get 0.245. E to the power j omega is cos omega plus j sin omega. So cos 0.2 pi plus j sin 0.2 pi plus 1. That is one part, and here cos 0.2 pi plus j sin 0.2 pi minus 0.509. That is one. Okay. Now simply from here, if you calculate the magnitude means, I am not showing you the calculation. You will do a plus jb, represent that expression in that format, then magnitude will be root of a square plus b square. If you calculate that, from that expression you will get value 0.707, or 0.707 means 1 by root 2 or 3 dB. Means in the given transfer function, if we consider the frequency is 0.2 pi, the magnitude we are getting 3 dB. That means that satisfies that the frequency we are representing here in the transfer function is a 3 dB frequency. That means the second condition is also satisfied. So first condition will be single pole. Second condition is the omega c is 0.2 pi for 3 dB. that condition is also satisfied. Okay, so if you have any question from that part, you can ask me now. If you don't have, then I should finish the class.